Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would give you a cosplay update on my current builds as well as my future builds I'm hoping to start soon if I can ever finish Sakizo. I'll try to also get a video out at the end of next week. I just don't know what it will be because I have a business trip coming up, and prepping for that is taking up a lot of my time. But with that, let's go ahead and get on into the Sakizo update. So I have some really bad news. Kind of joked a little bit about this last week when I said that Sakizo was going to break me because I was going through a bit of a emotional turmoil with it because I came to the realization that I have to remake a significant portion of the skirt. So I went through a solid year of making the skirt, and now I'm essentially remaking a massive chunk of it. It's not something I necessarily did wrong. It's the velvet. The velvet gathering on the bottom added to the steel hooping and everything else going on. I physically will not be able to wear it. I don't know if I really talked about it all that much, but I actually suffered a back injury back in spring of 2014 that actually kept me in bed 4 different times for a solid week every time, to the point where I could barely walk. I was in such excruciating pain. To this day, still don't quite know why it happened. I know what is wrong, but I don't know exactly why. But I guess that's the way medical diagnoses work sometimes. I do forever have this back injury. I've gone through a lot of physical therapy, and I have learned to strengthen my core and walk and move a little bit differently to take the strain off of my lower back. But this doesn't change the fact that the issue is still there. And while I'm up and moving just fine and have been since then, there is always the possibility that I could irritate the injury to a point where I am back in bed. Well, I tried everything on the other day, and I knew it was heavy, and I was pretty convinced that utilizing a corset to stabilize my back, and then the way I made the lace up around the steel hoop skirt, I was pretty certain it would balance out the weight and move the weight up in a way that it wouldn't put so much strain on my back. Well, when I tried everything on, the whole skirt, the panels, which are also heavy, the velvet, everything, I could feel the strain on my spine. And as much as I just wanted to power through it, I've decided that when I compete in this, I just don't want to feel miserable all day. And I don't want to risk potentially putting myself in bed for an unknown amount of time while my back recovered. So I am removing all of the velvet from the bottom. I think I'm still going to use velvet somewhere else because the corset is velvet, so I want to incorporate that within the build so that it doesn't seem so strange to have just a little bit of velvet. But I have to remove the velvet from the bottom, so all those gathers are gone. I've actually spent the past couple of days on a new idea for it. So I got some satin from Mood Fabric, and I'm doing some draping with strings, and I have pre-finished everything, so there's no lining, but everything has a rolled hem. All of the channels holding the cords are French seam, and so it is much lighter than all the velvet, because that velvet also had a gathered satin lining underneath. So I'm removing all of that fabric. I still wound up with about 20 individual panels because I actually changed the shape a little bit, made them a little smaller to accommodate this different type of gathering that I'm doing, but that took me quite a while. I actually still have to finish the hem, and then I am about ready to seam rip the skirt, which I will probably cry while doing. But the flower smocking and all that, perfectly salvageable. The white ruffle that goes underneath everything is salvageable. I just have to take it apart and sew it back together with this new gathered fabric. It'll be nice for it to be lighter. So with that, I think I also need to remake the panels. Which is what took the longest on this skirt, because the panels themselves are also very heavy, and I don't know yet. I'm going to test it all together one more time with the velvet removed. Maybe it will be okay, but I have a feeling that the panels are also going to be too much weight on my back. So I have a plan if I have to do that. I think I can cut out the appliques and apply them to this new idea that I have that I need to test. The plan I need to think through more. I have an idea, but I think that's going to have to happen. And if that happens, I am not going to use Roomie fabric. Again, it's too flimsy and it needs the adhesive stabilizer to sort of like pull it into a sturdy build for what I'm doing. So I have to rethink how to do the gold as well. So with that, I don't know. I was sort of planning on competing at C2E2, but I don't know if I'll be able to finish it in time. So I'm going to have to rethink all of that. Also, the leather corset idea just is not going to work. It's not looking the way that I want it to. So I spent a lot of time recently while I was working my way through the emotions of having to redo this part of the skirt to do the leather corset. I was like, I'll just keep moving on top. And then I remade it and it's not looking the way that I want it to. So I just think leather is going to be the wrong material for the elegance that I'm wanting for this corset. So I am moving back to satin. I've designed some embroidery for it. I'll do some beading and I'm just going to go that route. I will be happier. I'll be less stressed about it. It'll be nice. However, the gauntlet is still going to be leather. So that is my Sakizo update and I'm very sad because I was really looking forward to finishing it up and moving on to something else. But on the side, because it's been stressing me out a lot, I think you all know I've been working on Roomie. She's coming along nicely. I have the jacket like 90% done. I've been working on her armor, which is made out of leather, perfecting the shorts, and I'm about to start on the wig because I'm going to be wearing this to whole mat. So if you're going to be there, I will be walking around as Roomie for a little bit. Hopefully it won't be too terribly cold or uncomfortable. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully I can make that wig just fit nicely. So I will be at home mat with that. I also randomly decided to just compete in her. I don't think she'll win because like I'm not doing a skit or anything. It's just their one walk-on contest, like a very intense contest. I want to compete in whole mat hopefully next year with Glinda, and I just wanted to see how the contest runs at whole mat because I've never competed there before. So it's like research and I think it'll just be fun, but that's what I've been finishing up because even though I'm competing with no real like belief I'll place, I still want to do well. I want to like look good. The judges to look at my costume go, yeah, that's really well made. I shouldn't say she's simple because she actually is far more complex. She has a lot of detail, but I still want to do well. You know, like I want to put out a good costume. So with that, that's what I'm finishing up. Just finishing up the armor, as I mentioned, the wig. I was going to make my own boots, but I don't think I think they're called, I can't remember what they're called, but it's like the shoe form and the soles. I don't think they'll get here in time, which is fine. My next little side project, like Roomie, is going to be Hannah Alexander's Displacer Beast, which I'm really excited about. I've got some leather to make a leather corset and all that, so that'll be a lot of fun. After that, I'm going to start up Glinda on the side, I think, because I really want to make Glinda's pink bubble dress, and I know that there is a ton of beading I need to do, and with how slow I was with beading on Sakizo, I just think that's going to take a while, but can't start that until I get nearly completed with Sakizo. So I do get distracted by little side projects like Roomie or the Displacer Beast, which does slow me down, but it is a mental break. I can't work on Sakizo nonstop because she is a huge build that I am stressed out about it not being perfect, and that is causing me to not give myself grace, which I always tell everyone to give yourself grace. So I'm trying to take my own advice, and it does really help me whenever I have something else to work on, work successfully, so that it takes some of the stress off of the build that is taking me more time to figure out and do. I'm really proud with what I did so far with Sakizo. I'm sad that I have to undo it, but as I've said many times before, it's a really cosplay if you don't have to start over at least once, and in my case, more than once. So here we are. That's what happens. We live, we learn, we experience. It's great. So that's where I'm at with my builds. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe for more content from me. Hopefully I'll be able to get something out next week. But with that, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.